So as I've hit the ground, not only that I've broken or had an open fracture, but my skin is like it's been grated on the pavement. So skid to the point that I now stopped. As I stopped, because of adrenaline that's pumping, you're thinking that you're fine. So I'm now preparing to get up, and then I realized that I can't feel my foot. Paramedics came. Remember, this is France. I can't speak French. So they rushed me into the hospital. Look, madam, look, we need to amputate your leg. At 15, I said, look, I can't come back to London to tell my mum that, you came with 2 feet, now you're coming back with 1.5. I said, no, look, whatever you can do, just save the leg. Failure, failed. Kingston unconditional offer, she failed it. Kill yourself. Why don't you just kill yourself? You got so many things against you, just kill yourself. And I said, no, you have a disability, you're black, you're neurodivergent, you can't achieve it. But what do you see?
It's man like Dan. Come on. Welcome to Melanated Proud, where this channel is all about inspiring, empowering, and encouraging the black community. And today it's nothing different. And like I said before, the podcast is all about overcoming challenges. So without further ado, let's welcome Lisa Daniels.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
You.
Akwaba. So first of all, who are you and what do you do?
Wow, thank you so much for this opportunity. So my name is Lisa. I'm a community staff nurse in health visiting. I am melanated. I am proud of my lovely, beautiful color. At the same time too, I also have dyslexia, dyspraxia, and dyscalculia. So that is my invisible disability. And then that was my invisible. So my visible disability is that I have also osteoarthritis, where I now need to use crutches to mobilize around like places at work and also my personal life. So that's my makeup. If anyone like sees me or knows my journey, they know, I have invisible and visible disabilities, but I'm a nurse. And it contradicts itself because you have disabilities, but you're a nurse where you have to stand for 12, 13 hours. So it just doesn't make sense. But just wanted to show that we are here. We are there, but we're not visible. So this is my step of trying to be more visible now.
Yeah. No, thanks for sharing. And when you reached out to me, I just thought, okay, I'm very interested in hearing because, I just feel like you have a lot to say. And before we even begin, I just want to know that what is your why?
What is my why? I think for me, the journey begins from like when I was a student nurse, or even I just didn't see representation. And I've always like, why can't I see black nurses that with a disability, or even just talking about it? I never saw it. And I was like, why? So I used to like, why? And then later on, because I'm a Christian also, it's like your why, because you can't see it, you then become it. So that the people after you that can see representation to say, I have a disability, I have dyslexia, can I still become a nurse? Yes, I can, because I saw Lisa speak about her disability. I can still achieve being a nurse. I can still do it despite the challenges that are against you. So that is my why, because I didn't see it, I'm creating it. So there shouldn't be an excuse for me to say, because I haven't seen it, I can't do it. No, you create it, even though you can't see it. Normally, one thing is like people say, I need a role model, or who's going to be the first? And it's difficult to become the first because there's no somebody that you can model to say, can you be my mentor? But you now doing it for the first time, it is scary. But the repercussions of that is that somebody else, another student or another person that maybe even wants to go into university, they'll be like, I can't see it, so I can't become it. No, I'm showing you that you can become it. You be the first.
Hey, that's deep. But even just what you're saying is making me think about, okay, as you know, that faith without works is dead, also things hopeful but not seen. But when you think about people not doing something because they don't see it, all your fears, you don't see it, but you still believe it.
Exactly.
So it's a bit of a contradiction, because you're all the worries, all the things that you have in your mind, it's a lot of hypothetical thoughts, but you don't actually see them in reality. but it's in here and you still believe it.
And it's the dream. Because for me, I'll always remember as a child, I used to always like to play with toys and build like, oh, this is what you're going to do. You're going to become this. You're going to become that. And then I remember my mum one time, I know she's going to be like, because there was a time that I was playing with the toys and then because somebody was coming, she hid it. She hid the toys that I was playing with. And I'm like, oh, is that something to be ashamed of, that I'm at the age of maybe like 7 or whatever, I'm still playing with dollies and stuff like that. And my mum hid it. And then when the guest came and then she revealed it to them. So can you imagine at her age, is still playing? So at the time I was afraid. I was, oh, this is something that I need to keep quiet. But then later on, it's like, no, my imagination, my dreams, my visions, that is what people are paying, you know, for dream makers, for people to be innovative and bring ideas. That was it at the child. But because I wasn't nurtured into it, I hid. I was secretive about what I could do. So it's now that being a nurse and knowing that, okay, I haven't seen a neurodiverse melanated nurse with a visible disability talk or network or express about their journey. That's when I said, no, let me create this network and let me just be more outspoken out there, because we exist. It's just that we haven't seen somebody do it. So that's why nobody has done it. But now I'm doing it. So hopefully they can join me and talk more about neurodiversity and disability. You know?
You just hit it on the nail, because you exist, and I think there's many people that are looking for someone to represent them. And I feel like the issue is a lot of people are not visible. So you think to yourself that you're the only one going through it, or you're the only one and there's no hope. But it's about putting yourself in the forefront so that people can also be encouraged, because it's not just about yourself. And if you are a star, you have to shine. You can't hide.
Exactly.
So as long as you have that light, you have to be in a position where you can be seen. But yeah, let's just go back. So where are you from?
Yes.
Where was you born? Let's get to know you.
Okay, so you can see already I'm not so I'm born in the UK, London, Southwest, guys in St. Thomas's, grown up in Stockwell, Brixton, Clapham, all around these sides, Balham.
South London.
Yeah. And so
that was South London mixed with Ghana. She said, yeah. I too.
So I'm from a rich Ghanaian heritage, which I love so much. I can't speak the language. So my mom is Krobo, my dad is Ga, and even with that one, I can't speak the language. So I've always been like, hey, you can't speak, you're not truly Ghanaian. I said, okay, no problem. I'm British and I've got my Ghanaian heritage. I still hold on to it tightly, which I love. So I've always had that difficulty of speaking. Sometimes when I do speak, you will see that, I stutter, or when I get a bit nervous, or even just randomly, I'll just, but at the beginning, I would just hide that to say, oh no, I don't want to talk, just let me just be silent. Let me just, and I'm like, hold on, no, I need to see more representation. Me, I'm always like, I want to see, but you become it. You be the one to see it. So if somebody stutters, because I remember when I would do my videos and then I will see so many stutters that I will start editing and I'm like, this is taking too long. Let me just pause it. Look, this is me. Accept it if you're not happy, or go to somewhere else, So I just released it. I said, this is my authentic self. This is me. Let me just send it. And I'll just post it. So you'll see sometimes some videos where I'm stuttering or it's not adding up, but that's just me. I can't edit that out, Yeah.
No, that's a good point, because to be honest, I think a lot of people stutter in the first place. But I remember even for me earlier on, like I used to cut those parts out. And I thought, you know what, why are you lying? Like it's just part of your flow. So it's about not being bothered by it, because if you then pay attention to it, you will always be very insecure about it. And so it's just about owning who you are. No one's perfect, and just rolling with that. So thanks for sharing. So how was your childhood like for you? We always have to go in childhood. I know.
my childhood.
If your mama's watching, Auntie, allow her, please, please,
love
please.
you,
Don't
love
worry,
you.
don't.
It's okay. It was.
She's not here.
It was beautiful. One thing that I can say is that I was always happy. I was always smiling. There was, it was rich, beautiful. Always going to church, meeting different people. We went to Brighton, this one, that one, this way. So it was beautiful. So, but because my dad, again, he was deported. That one, I have to be real. He was deported back to Ghana. So then it just became me and my mum. So now it's like a single parent, dealing with, lots of other, you're a single parent now. So basically everything that I do is a reflection of what my mum does. So if I do something bad, if I talk back to the teachers or whatever, somebody could step on my toe. If I react, it's because you're coming from a single mum. So then it kind of put not imposter syndrome, but when it's like you have to become like an actor, so you have to make sure that even though you're upset about something, you can't express because I'm coming from a single parent family. Then it's later on during my adolescent ages, being in secondary school, I went to St. Martin's High School. I went to Richard Atkins Primary School. So they noticed that, oh, Lisa, you're really funny. Like I'll find things to make, and just because I'm always want to be around people that can smile, that are happy, just joyful, and I also feel like I got that from my mum too. And then now, looking back now, when I reflect, I would make jokes and stuff like that because when I'm reading, what I'm reading and what somebody else is reading, or what I'm writing and someone else is writing, if they read what I'm writing, they're like, Lisa, what are you saying? Like, I don't understand what you're saying. But I can read back what I've written, even though maybe the two and the ends has crisscrossed. But I didn't know about dyslexia. I didn't know because, again, in representation, I don't see it. So, you don't ask questions of what is dyslexia, what is dyspraxia. So I remember my teacher asking my mum or whatever, like, oh, we've noticed some signs with Lisa. We want to get her tested and stuff like that. I remember going get tested and everything. They brought the games and stuff. I played with it. She wrote everything down. They gave the report to my mum. After that, I haven't heard anything. I was, oh, you're fine. Don't worry, you're fine. We'll get through it. So up until now, everything is safe. Don't worry, we'll get through. Everything's fine. You are great. So now, speaking words of affirmation, you are fine. You will pass your exams. Okay, but what did the report say? Up until now. So even now, I'm still haven't been diagnosed to say that, oh, you have clinically dyspraxia, dyscalculia, this. But I know, when that's an inner thing that inside you, that you have difficulties when it comes to like preparing an essay and stuff like that. When you write a work, somebody else is reading it, they're like, I don't understand what you're saying, but I understand it. So those are the things that my characters that now reflecting back from my childhood, from the teachers picking up early from primary school and nothing being done about it until now as an adult, I'm picking up to say, no, I do believe that I am dyslexic and I do have dyspraxia, some signs of dyspraxia and dyscalculia. Because when it comes to time, like even today, the appointment was 12 o'clock. I had to tell myself, look, it's at 11 o'clock. So that I can make sure that I cannot be late. But my timing and even calculating things, again, I'm a nurse. So calculations, I have to make sure that even when I do my drug calculations, I need to have a second person, a third person. The nurse in charge has to check it. I need to call pharmacy. Can you just check this IV medic? They're like, you've already done it. And I'm like, I know. Again, I didn't speak up to say, oh, I have this calcul, I have these stuff. It's because of fear, because of stigma, because of labeling. So all of that stuff is like part of my childhood. When I look back to say, okay, it's been a secret. Even when I was playing with the toys, they hid it. So you have to keep quiet. Don't express anything because it's not good. It should be kept quiet or within your family. Don't talk. So it's now later on that I'm seeing that no, we need to talk about it because no support you can't get support if you don't talk about it, if you don't address the issue. The issue is that you have dyslexia. The issue is that you do have osteoarthritis. You standing for all those hours is doing more impact to your ankle. You need to deal with it. And it's now that I'm here to tell my story.
Because, I don't want you to get licks when you go home. But
No.
the thing is...
Don't worry.
Yeah, because I think it's good to speak about it because there's many people that are going through it, and especially when you can be from an African culture, parents can have fear around that, and so they might not deal with it well, because it's new to them too, which is understandable. But ultimately, for the child growing up as well, it's like you're left feeling confused, but you're also suffering as well. So talk to me about that secret suffering.
Oh, so that is like another maybe an hour long. Well, I'll try and condense it. It's like it's just recently, like just this Saturday, I had to go to a motivational speaking boot camp, or like a meeting, a training basically. And they talk about naming that silent, that voice in your head. Like the person that was talking, they said that the name in the voice is called Brian for him. So for me, I haven't gone to that level of naming the voice that keeps on talking to me. That silent voice will be always dark. Like, you can't achieve it. Why are you bothering? Remember, you got dyslexia. Remember, you're stuttering. All these. So it's like, even though,
so you already told yourself that you've got it, even though you never got the.
Even though I haven't got the final thing, I already knew that. Lisa, I would say you're very special. You're very unique. But I would say that verbally, but in the inner voice, that silent voice is like, you're just somewhere. Make sure that they don't catch you. Imposter syndrome now kicking in. If you make one more mistake, they're gonna catch you out. You're gonna be this. You're gonna be that.
Wait, so but what do you think was gonna happen? Because it's like you're saying,
just afraid that they're gonna say, look, you're a failure. Like you, everything that you're saying that you can do, you can't do it.
Especially back then in school, it's like the support that's there now isn't the same as before.
It's not the same. When you're talking about one-to-one support, even the class number, like I remember, not that, because for me, okay, let me put it this term. I was always in the lower set. There's not one grade that I can say I was on the middle or higher grade. No, low set. So my expectation that C, like, it's just C, the highest C. So then even finishing secondary school with only one GCSE, and that was in English, C. As English already that I'm finding it difficult to talk and understand. They said C. So okay, even that small one C, I hold on to it. So I'm so happy, English C. I think it was even literature. So I had to go back to sixth form to then do language to then go into then access to nursing and all of that stuff. So the inner voice is like, you can't achieve it. Just give up. Why are you making yourself look fake? Like, this is just fake pretense. And I'm like, my voice, and also being a Christian and being an active Christian, reading the word and stuff like that, was changing the mindset or changing the words, the silent voice that was saying that you can't do it, and speaking it into existence. That in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, and repeating that, like that was like ingrained into my body to say, no, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So I went back to went back to college to do a whole set of like access to nursing, BTech, health and social care, did all of that. So I did it, got into Kingston because they had like a partnership between South Thames College and Kingston University. So it was an unconditional offer straight to university. So I was like, yeah, I can do it. That voice that was saying that you're a failure and you can't achieve it. No, I proved myself that I can do it. Got into university to study a diploma in nursing. And then all of a sudden, because I haven't spoken up to say I have dyslexia and I've got dyspraxia, I was failing all my assignments. I'll pass the practical ones where I had to have placement face to face with my patients. Were fine, teaching hospitals. They said, oh, yeah, Lisa's a really good nurse and Exams, assignments, fail. Why? Do it again. Revise this, revise that. Do it again. Fail. I think at that time there was like 2 strikes or 3 strikes, you're out. There's no to say, let's assess her to check, does she have a learning disability? Does she have, nobody checked to say, Lisa, can you sit down? Like, what's been happening? Is there anything happening at home? None of that. Wow. I think it was 2 or 3 strikes. I think it was even 2 strikes. Like, yeah, you kept on failing your exams, you're out. So now I'm back at home, failed. This was an unconditional offer. And I'm now I failed. Now I'm failure in the church everywhere. Hey, failure. She's failed. Oh, did you hear? Updated news, failure. So now not the silent voice that was just in me has now I'm hearing it out with my family, not family, my church family. So already that's now church hurt. So there's so many.
That's a lot.
Yeah. failure, failed. Kingston, unconditional offer. She failed it. I'm like, okay.
Meanwhile, you're suffering as well. And you're not able to process or understand why you're feeling it. And also it's because you're having to keep this secret, which is affecting you both educationally and also mentally, spiritually, everything. So like you're feeling alone. Like, and
support.
That's not easy. Because okay, I'm not trying to get you licks again, but in an ideal scenario,
don't worry, I will brace it. I'm ready, mommy. I'm ready.
In an ideal scenario, I'm sure if your parents could go back in time, they'll be able to support you in that and understand. But I guess in that time, the knowledge isn't there, and so there's many people that are going through it, but it's like it's being dismissed. It's being brushed under the carpet.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, you're suffering, and this is your day-to-day battle. And now, because no one has addressed it, your performance is looking bad when you actually just need some help. And no one's understanding you. You feel hurt, you feel understood, and then you can recluse as well. So it's hard. So I know he's going to say something. You can say what you want to say.
No, I was just going to say, because it's like every time that my results will produce that kind of like that labels and stigma of the things that I've been fighting against, to say I'm not like that, I'm this, I'm good, I can achieve it, just give me a chance. But all of this stuff that I'm saying was my inner voice speaking back to the dark voice saying that, oh, you can't achieve it. So it's like just trying to stay positive, because again, I'm a Christian and listening to praise and worship and all these Christian songs uplifting me. But now, because of my failure, that has now overcovered everything that I've been saying, is dampened me. So definitely anxiety, depression now kicked in. You know, I remember always having like suicidal thoughts to say, no, what is the point of my existence? Then why did God create me? Like having those difficult questions. And then it's for me, again, it's my faith to ground me, to say, I have plans for you. Like, you don't know it, but I do have plans for you. And it's having that confidence now to sit back to say, okay, God, let's try again. So then now failing Kingston, have to now go back to work as a healthcare assistant. Then hearing in the church, hey, she's born in this country, how can she become a healthcare assistant? The people that have just come into the country should be taking those roles. And then the partner that I was with at the time was like, my pastor basically said that I should go for another person that is more successful, because he doesn't understand that how can you be working as a healthcare assistant? You just come into the country. It's telling me, because my partner was at the time was Nigerian and he doesn't have his stay. And then I had my stay, but I'm working as a healthcare assistant. So it was like, it's not adding up. I need to, my pastor, the same pastor is telling him to leave me and go for somebody better. So I'm like, then what's the point? And that's what grounded me to say, I don't care about what the pastor said or what even you say. The vision that I have for myself and the dream that I have for myself, I'm not letting it go. And that was the inner why of like, no, I need to show them that I can and I will, and that God has a better plan for me and I will become a nurse. Yes, it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to do it. And that's what brought me then into like, you know, getting into Hertfordshire. Because I had to go back to, so after that 1 year of working as a healthcare assistant, went back to the same college that got me into Kingston. Went back there and I said, oh yeah, I want to become a nurse again. And they said, oh no, now the standards has increased. So the time that you applied, you entered in as unconditional, but now there's no diploma, there's degree level. And I'm like, already diploma, I couldn't achieve diploma. How am I doing degree level? And still not speaking up to say I have dyslexia. I didn't tell, and even my partner, I didn't even tell him at the time that, oh, I have a learning disability. So I went back to South Thames College, Merton. I don't know if anyone remembers Merton College. That was in where is it? Morden place. And now doing access to nursing and including also the English language that remember that I failed it at GCSE level. So I had to now do evening classes of English language, plus do my access to nursing, plus working again as a domiciliary carer or as a healthcare assistant.
Yeah.
So domiciliary carers, the carers that go to the patient, the elderly patient's home to care for them. So I would, in the morning before going to college, I would do my work. So work as a healthcare assistant. So leave the house maybe around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, go care for them, dress them up for the morning, then catch the 118 all the way straight to South Thames College to then do my access to nursing. Finish that, go home, maybe quickly eat something, and then do my evening classes to do English language. And I would do that for a year. And then not also talking about osteoarthritis.
I've got so many questions because even if I go all the way back to where you were saying you was having suicidal thoughts and you was feeling depressed.
Yeah,
because I was wondering like, how was you feeling mentally as well? So was that attended to as well, or was that something that you held as well?
Yeah, I held it. I didn't speak up to anybody.
No one.
Nobody. I think the only thing that I did, maybe I would pray or I would sing because I love to sing. At the time, I would join my choir and I would sing. Sometimes I would cry, sometimes I would write or I would draw, or then I have like maybe one or two key people in my life, like really good friends that I would talk to. But again, nobody can walk your shoes, so they can express sympathy or empathy. But the level of like, you're a failure, you failed. It cannot be, it couldn't be shaken. So I had to deal with it through prayer and I feel like I'm even still on that journey. I can't come and say, oh yes, I'm healed, I'm delivered. I'm still on that journey of my mental health, which I now talk about on my YouTube page about mental health and talking. And we need to talk about the difficult stuff about mental health, anxiety, depression, suicide, because all of that stuff, I had those thoughts. Even now as an adult, I had those thoughts. So.
No, that's why I wanted to go to it, because without people noticing the situations or the environments that they create for you where you don't have a space to speak up, you don't have a space to be honest, that allows you to be isolated and now you're alone. So where people can feel like they're protecting you or they feel as though, okay, no one should know, silence can also lead to someone's death as well.
Exactly, yeah.
It can lead to someone's problems. Like things can go from bad to worse. And so, it's a shame that it happens and it's still happening now. And like, why? Okay, in your opinion, why does it happen?
I think again, like representation, like even what we're doing now, just talking about mental health, talking about suicide, talking about anxiety, talking about depression, all of that stuff they need to see somebody do it first. Some people just need that first. And then there's some people that God has put in their heart to say, yes, you haven't seen representation, but you become it. I will guide you. I will strengthen you to you talk about it. Yes, it's touchy because you're a Christian. You're talking about suicide. You're talking about depression, anxiety, but it needs to be had so that other people that don't have that grace to say, oh, I need support, they can see us talking about it to say, actually, I think I can speak to my GP. I can speak to the NHS 111. Those services are available 24/7. They can even speak to somebody that they trust. But at least it needs to be spoken about. So let's start that conversation. Because I remember another key moment in my life was when I did start Hertfordshire, and again, didn't talk about dyslexia, having assignments. My partner at the time is still putting pressure on me to say, you need to come back to London. I need to see you. I don't understand what kind of relationship is this. So I'm dealing with all of that stuff. Assignments, I'm failing still. That one moment, I remember the voice coming into my head to say, why don't you just kill yourself? You're in the house by yourself. You can do it in this. So even showing me ways to do it. And I'm like, yes, I'm that low, but I cannot because my life doesn't belong to me. It belongs to God. I'm accountable to God. I don't have that authority. It doesn't matter how low I am. And that's because, again, it's the scriptures. Now, if I'm not reading the Bible, if I'm not an active Christian, then that inner conviction cannot overdrown that voice to say, kill yourself. Why don't you just kill yourself? You got so many things against you. Just kill yourself. And I said, no, because my life ultimately doesn't belong to me. Don't have that authority. And that's what brought my level to say, no, I'm going to pick up the phone to call my friend to say, this is where I'm at and I need support. And that's how I got out of it, at that time.
I'm just I'm mind blown because there's a lot of stuff, and I know it's even like emotional thinking about it because it's taking you back to some of the difficult times, the dark times, and even if you think about some of the main reasons as to why people are silenced in that way. Yes, you can say culture, but I think one thing about the Black community, especially like I wouldn't just say African and Caribbean community, they don't understand why such and such is happening because maybe according to religion like Christianity, this doesn't make sense.
It's true.
And so how did you how did you manage to like line up the two to make it make sense for yourself? Because if your parents are thinking, okay, I don't understand why you're going through this, you yourself thinking, why am I going through this?
And I'm still smiling too. I'm smiling.
I'm a Christian, etc. How can I still experience mental health conditions or neurodiversity? What's this all about? Disability. Like, what is this? So what is your understanding of that? Because for me, I feel like it's important to speak about it because when people think about mental health stigma and all the reasons why people's thoughts are suppressed and people go through even more difficulties where they actually may die by suicide and even just be left in a dark space, it's because what they perceive as a truth has been altered, and that misunderstanding of truth leaves you in captivity, leaves you in prison when there's a truth that will set you free as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's important to speak about that.
And for me, it's like, your vision, what do you see? Because even though in this room we're 3 people, but spiritually it could be 4, it could be 5. So it's like, what do you see? Even though your reality is telling you this, that you have a disability, you're Black, you're neurodivergent, you can't achieve it. But what do you see? Like, silence that voice that is saying you have all these challenges, you're in pain. Every step that you take, you're in pain. But what do you see? Speak it out. Your voice, you need to articulate yourself. You need to speak up to say, no, despite this, I am this. I have this. I'm a successful person. I am a motivational speaker. Even though you can't see it, but you're speaking it into existence so it's like nobody else can see it, but you can see it. And the only person that is important is you and God. If God says that you are the head and you're not the tail, somebody else can tell you that, oh no, you're Black, you're disability, you've got neurodiverse, you can't achieve this, you can't become a band 6, a band 7, a band 8, band 9. But God has said, I am the head and not the tail. Currently now, yes, I'm a band 5, a senior band 5, but what do you see? What does God say about you? And that is the goal, or that is the aim that you're looking at. Despite everything else that's happening, pain, this, mental health, what do you see? And speak on it and act on it and follow that direction. If you need help, you pray about it, you ask for guidance, and you even seek God to say, God, like, where do I go? Who do I talk to? God, for me, I feel like the Holy Spirit will also guide you to who do you talk to? Why did I email you? Why didn't I email somebody else? It's all in God's alignment, and that's what I feel like it's about. What do you see and act on it. Action is very, very powerful, even though you can't see it, but because you see it, believe it, and it's done. And that's it.
Wow because I don't even know how to articulate myself, but one thing for sure is everyone's going through different things. Like, we're all born different. And so someone can be born and they might not have a father around. Someone might be born without any parents. Someone might be born blind. Someone might be born and end up having vitiligo. Someone might be born with a physical disability. Someone might be born and eventually they end up having mental health difficulties. Like, everyone has their own struggle, but your struggle isn't you as well.
Exactly. And I love that. And I love that.
It's like, we all have our own unique beginning, a unique journey.
Exactly.
But you determine what your story will be in the end.
Exactly.
Like, because what you go through may actually be the community that you're going to impact.
Yeah.
That's why you have to go through it, because only when people feel like, someone gets it, someone resonates, then they might want to listen to what you say a bit more. So maybe that's your call, and that's maybe the people you need to reach out to.
Yeah.
Maybe someone that's been abused, whether it's physically, sexually, they might end up supporting those that have also been abused. Those that have been in gangs, they end up supporting those in gangs. I feel like in life, what you go through or your circumstance may actually just be a revelation of the people or the areas that you're meant to tap into.
Yeah.
And it's understanding that, and not feeling as though you are, I don't know, like you're a burden or you're worthless, or you have no purpose. But all those things that you might go through in your mind. But that very thing that you're going through is your that's purpose.
Your reason. That's your why. Because it's so funny that you've even said that, because like my pastor, so I go to Caris London Church. I just started going there. So my pastor, David Antry, he was talking about like why, there's people that will be complaining to say, oh, why this, why that, why I'm feeling like this, why? But maybe you're been placed there to be the like for you to solve the problem. Yes, you're in an area where it's difficult. There's challenges. There's so much stigma. There's labels, or you're feeling this way, but you are the problem solver. So he was just preaching about that yesterday. So it's amazing that you also just brought into that alignment about, you're in the ghetto, you're in a gang, and everybody's doing this and doing that. But maybe you are the person to break out and become like a change maker and solve the problems that is happening in that area or in that community. So that's why for me, I feel like I've had that like a superpower now, that I used to always complaining about, why do I have all these challenges, have an osteoarthritis, post-traumatic arthritis, adjustment now disorder that they've said, no, you have adjustment disorder. Why me? What have I done? Me, I'm a good person, God. Why me? And then why not you? You become the person that you want to see. And that has always stood by me. Become the person that you want to see. I want to see representation. I want there to be more discussions about mental health, about disability, about neurodiversity, especially in healthcare, because we are there, but we're not visible. You don't see us, but we're there. We're working. The government, everyone's talking about, disability, claiming universal credit, but we're working. We're providing a service to the public, to the community, but we're just not visible. You don't see us. You just see a particular people, but the melanated people, you don't see the disability within us, that we're still thriving. We're still contributing to society. And this is what I'm trying to do now, my journey,
No, thank you for sharing your why, because you could have seen it completely differently and just thought,
let me give up.
Woe is me. No, don't get it twisted. I'm sure you would have gone through those moments. But the main thing is that you've kept going, because it's easy to give up. It's harder to actually keep going. And when you actually go on, you start to see the fruits of your labor. And let's just talk about other things that have occurred. For example, you said the post-traumatic arthritis. How did that come about?
So that one too. So basically, I was 15 years old, so just about to prepare to go into year 11 in secondary school. And I went on holiday with my friends, had a biking accident. So I was on a bike, going down the hill. Everything was going fine, but all of a sudden the only brakes that were working was the front brake. And anyone that knows biking and going down the hill, if you use the front brake, you're going head first. Exactly. So the speed that I was going, I knew quickly that I need to kill the speed. So I put out my legs to try and kill the speed. But how fast I was going, my foot was just being kicked off. Ooh. So I had to now guide the bike, trying to steer it in a way that I don't hit any pillars or whatever. By the time I said, I have to guide it in a way I've hit a pillar, I'm now flying, and this is in France. So that's another level. This is in France, where the roads, where I was, it was Amiens, France. Amiens, so it's like the countryside, northern part of France. So their road is like a grater, like gravel. So as I've hit the ground, not only that I've broken or had an open fracture, but my skin is like it's been grated on the pavement. Ooh. So skid to the point that I now stopped. As I stopped because of adrenaline that's pumping, you're thinking that you're fine. So I'm now preparing to get up. And then I realized that I can't feel my foot. I can't feel my foot. So my friend quickly like, oh, Lisa, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she said, because of where we were, the area that we were had quick CCTV to notice that, oh, there's an accident that has happened. Within a couple of minutes, paramedics came. Remember, this is France. I can't speak French. So they rushed me into the hospital. Look, madam, look, we need to amputate your leg at 15. We need to amputate. This is now being communicated by the orthopedic surgeon to say, look, no, this one, no. And I said, look, I can't come back to London to tell my mum that, you came with 2 feet, now you're coming back with 1.5. I said, no, look, whatever you can do, just save the leg. So because I was 15, I didn't know about who's my advocate. The only person that was speaking on my defense was my friend's auntie. But again, she also doesn't understand a bit of English. So she couldn't communicate to me to say, this is the level of the severity of your leg. It needs to be amputated. So even in that communication, it was when the orthopedic doctor said, look, no. If we don't do surgery now, amputate. We need to amputate. This is bad. You've lost lots of blood. I said, please, just save the leg. Whatever you do, save it. And within a couple of minutes, they rushed me to surgery, waking up with a foot long. So basically from my foot all the way up to my inner thigh was POP. So meaning that it's like a cast was covered. So my leg was like that, left like that. So I was in France again for an additional 3 weeks. I was supposed to be going back to London to start year 11 in secondary school, but I have to stay in France now. Not knowing that because my leg was left on the bed, I wasn't elevated. It wasn't elevated. Exactly. Yeah. So now I've developed, a pressure ulcer. I didn't know what's pressure ulcer. So I knew that my leg was hurting me. And I was telling them, please, my leg. They were speaking in French. Like, I don't understand French. And I'm a child, 15.
Was you by yourself?
I'm by myself. Still there? No. She went back to Paris. And because she's 15, so even that in itself, mental trauma to say I'm by myself in a foreign country, I cannot speak French. Yeah. So that was another layer of mental health to say you're by yourself again. Yeah. And my leg is itching me, it's in pain. Then when it comes to personal care, I don't want this male healthcare assistant to bath me or to clean me. Okay, you will leave and then you will come back to say, basically, if you want to be, he didn't say, but body language is communication to you. If you don't want anybody there's no other female, nobody else wants to come to you. So it's only him. So I have to now reveal myself to a man. You had to do personal care and clean me. Nobody talks about you on your periods. What are you doing with a foot-long cast? How are you putting pads on? How are you taking off your knickers and stuff like that? So that's another trauma. And then when the doctors come, I don't see representation. Where's my black doctors or the black brothers, my dad? Where's my dad? Where's my uncle? Where's my brothers? Even though I'm an only child, but I have friends. Where are they? So that's another mental stress, let alone that I'm dealing with this post-traumatic thing. Seeing the doctor, then they said, you need another surgery. You don't have travel insurance. What's travel insurance at the age of 15? This is in 2005. What is travel insurance? I wasn't aware about travel insurance. Okay, we'll do another surgery. No communication. So I had three operations there in the space of maybe 3 or 4 weeks there. Then they transferred me back to London to say, look, we've tried our best to try and save her leg. What they did to try and relieve the pressure of the pressure ulcer, they cut out in the cast, they cut out a square of my leg for it to relieve pressure. But anybody that knows anything about a pressure ulcer, you need to be regulating it, lift it up. It needs to be in mid-air. There needs to be pillows. It needs to be cushioned because my heel, which is a bony prominent, is going against the bed. There's no oxygen. So my skin is eating away into the cast. So then when I get back to London, then I'm telling them that my leg is paining me, it's hurting, it's smelling, something, because they've exposed the area where it was an open fracture, open bones were coming out and everything. So it wasn't properly dealt with. I didn't think about race was a factor of why my healthcare was different from the counterparts, like another nurse that was sitting beside me. So as another nurse, another child patient that was sitting beside me, and God being so good that those patients, those children on the children wards, their families were now looking after me because, like, with personal care, or if something drops on the floor, pick this up or to get me a glass of water, I will ask another healthcare assistant to say, oh, can I get another glass of water? They say, oh, no, you have to pay. You have to pay for that next water. You have to pay for water.
Do you even
But
have
this
money?
is France. Exactly. Do I have money? I'm 15. So after that, I get back to London. They told me that my auntie tells me that, look, in the NHS here, this is 2005, you need to visualize, or you need to express to the doctors what you're going through, what pain you're going through. You need to be descriptive. And again, somebody that has dyspraxia, dyscalculia, dyslexia, everything is going against you, because it's like, I can't speak. If I speak, I don't even know the words to articulate, to say, this is what I'm feeling. This is an itching pain, a stabbing pain, a shooting pain. I didn't know until now, later on, seeing that this is why things need to be happening, because you need to be descriptive when it comes to pain, when it comes to anything that's in your body. Do not let we don't understand, so that should be the final say. So no, you need to get, I need a second opinion, because in the NHS you are paying your taxes. NHS is not free. When they say, NHS is free, no, it's not free. You're paying for it, or we're paying for it. So you need to access those services that you're paying for. It's exactly the same as in America. You're paying for it. So if I say I'm having pain, I need a second opinion. Who are you? What is your name? What is your criteria? What specialty do you have? Do you even understand what osteoarthritis is? I had one of the doctors tell me that, we deal with patients that have 34 years of pain. So because I'm going through 20 years of pain, my one, it shouldn't be spoken about. No, it needs to be addressed. It has to be addressed, and I demand it, because I am paying for this service. Yes, I'm a clinician myself, but I'm paying. I'm contributing. Not because I'm black that you're going to say, we can't help you, but you'll help somebody else that doesn't look like me. So why my 20 years of pain is not justified because it hasn't reached 34 years of a Caucasian person? No, I'm not going to stand for that. So straight away, what did I do? I make a complaint. And that's when everything changes. When you make people accountable to say, on this day, on that time, this is what you said, and this is the reaction to it. Then everyone fixes up quickly. I didn't say that. Okay, Miss Daniels. Oh yes, we will get things done for you. So it has to be that I have to make you accountable, make a final complaint before things gets done. If that has to be, then no problem. I always try and work as a team. We need to work as a team. It doesn't matter if you're coming from a different background, especially working in healthcare. It's a multifaceted place where everybody from different backgrounds work together. So it's all about teamwork. Or nothing can get, it's nothing. It's like no proper work can happen.
Wow, you went through a lot, man.
That's just maybe I'd have to.
That's a fraction because you condensed it.
I had to condense it because it was a lot. Like you can see, after eight. This is the eighth surgery. Eighth surgery of something that happened in 2005. This year marks 20 years of going back to back surgery. Everything is fine. No, it's not fine. You need to have surgery. How are you a nurse when you have osteoarthritis, when you have a post-traumatic arthritis? But I'm a nurse because I said this is what I'm going to do. Even the arthritis cannot stop me from being what I want to do. You have to, submit and follow me on this journey and let that be part of my journey and my story. So when people see me that, you have crutches and, you have a disability. Yeah, I have a disability, but that's not going to limit me. It's going to join me on my journey to where God has purpose for me, like my will. And that has always been my motivation. God's purpose for my life, I want to achieve it. And if that means me using crutches, me talking about my disability to encourage somebody, if that's my will that God has purpose, then so be it. Let me go on this journey.
No, you know what? I really admire you because a lot of people may only want to talk about stuff once it's complete and you look back. But this is you speaking about things that you're currently still facing as well. And the reality is it's not easy, especially to get yourself to a space where you're constantly fighting. Because like I told you, I'm sure you go through the motions here and there. But the main focus is about continuing because that is what allows you to finally reach the places that you need to reach. Because to be honest, no one's life is straightforward. As much as people might make it seem, whether it's on social media, everyone's going through something. It's just in a different form. And so what I'm most interested in is like your mindset. Like, how did you get to this space? So one thing you've said is faith has been very like important to you. You've been praying, etc.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you done as well? Because there's other people as well that are going through it.
Yeah.
Now,
I think for me also it's like, I guess for me it's like resilience, dedication. I who can I say? Yeah, it's just, and just that inner dream, like that version to say, no, Lisa, you can speak in words of affirmation that you can do it, you will achieve it, you can do it. So like, even like during COVID, and that again was another difficult area where, you know, you're facing a disease where even they tell you that, oh, the black healthcare assistants are dying the first. Like the black nurses, I remember seeing a black nurse. She's a mom. She's Ghanaian also, and she died. She's caring for patients and she's died. And then I will now put my uniform on and go back into the hospital to say, yeah, even though, you know, COVID is happening, people are being told to stay at home, but we are the healthcare force. We need to go out. So having that resilience and that dedication and that stamina to say, no, you know, I can do it and I will do it. Other people are doing it. So me too, I can. So it's like seeing other workers and colleagues doing it. It also gives you that kind of encouragement that I'm not alone. And again, with my fave too, going into the hospitals or into patients' homes that have COVID and stuff like that. And in seeing all the people clapping, clapping. But, but it's like, we need help. We need support. You're clapping. That's not feeding us. That's not paying our bills. But it's just seeing that teamwork, that unity. And that's one thing that I do love about my previous, I won't say my current, which, you know, my previous work colleagues, we were like a family. We all hanged out together and supported each other. If somebody has a dream or has a desire to say, no, Lisa, you can do it. You're a very good speaker. Why don't you consider this? Why don't you do this? So it's even other people like seeing there's a spark, and then God is just amplifying that to say, no, Lisa, be more intentional, be more active and just do it, basically. Just do it. Just try, at least. Just try. And then I will back you. So all of that was part of it, you know.
And you're literally just walking by faith consistently, because I'm sure there will be times where you probably prayed, oh God, take this away from me, etc. etc. But I feel like either something is there, and then yes, you can get your healing. I'm not disputing that, because some things are short term, some things are long term, some things are for life. It's not our job to guess either, but as long as you're going through it, you still have a life to live.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think it's very important to keep pushing, because what you're saying to me is very inspiring. Even I'm feeling empowered, and these are things I want to take on for my life as well. And I'm sure other people that might have maybe similar experiences to you, they are also feeling empowered by this, because I feel like no matter what your life consists of right now, what you're saying is still valuable in all walks of life. Because that mindset and that desire to just keep going on, to not allow yourself to be succumbed by the pressure or the obstacles that you face.
What you can see visually.
But to keep pushing, to keep going. Because many people would have stopped a long time ago, but you're still going on. And I know being a black nurse, neurodiverse, and having visible and invisible disabilities going on for you, that's something you're passionate about. Because I remember you mentioned that you want to raise awareness. Of course, you've shared some reasons already, but like, why would you say like it's so important to raise awareness and have more representation?
For me, I feel like it just comes down to representation and a dream, and on media, on visually, because you need to see it. You need to understand that we are here. We have been here. It's just that you haven't. We're always maybe hiding behind, you know, closed doors. So the whole point of me speaking up and talking more about You Too Can Nurse and about visibility and talking about disability and stuff like that is about making it comfortable. So I remember I was watching a podcast and they were talking about making things that are uncomfortable comfortable. You're changing the narrative. So that's what we're doing today. So talking about empowering black and brown nurses, my focus point is this area. You have to be specific. brown and black nurses and midwives and allied health professionals that are brown and black, and to aspire to bigger dreams, whether that is for you to own companies, own businesses. Don't only just constrain yourself into this small area. Dream big. Dream big. They're saying that, we don't see representation when it comes to disability or when it comes to diversity, equality. Look what's happening in America. You become it. Ignore what you're seeing or hearing in America. You become it. You strive. You do it. Become it. It doesn't matter what's happening around your surroundings. You do it. So that's the whole point of what I'm trying to do on YouTube Can Nurse, is trying to raise the awareness about melanated, black and brown health professionals, nurses, doctors, allied health professionals, about aiming bigger. Don't allow your circumstances to define who you are. Rise up to the opportunity and become it. Even if you're the first in your department, in your community, in your trust, become it. Because even my trust, they don't know what I'm doing. Right now I'm on sick leave, but you're supposed to be at home. Aren't you supposed to be at home on the rest beds? Aren't you supposed to be elevating your leg? Yes, I've done that. But this is part and process of me healing, of me prophesying and speaking into my life, into my leg, to say, you are well. You're going to walk again. You are going to go back to work and become even better than what you was previously. Yes, I am on sick leave, but this is my healing. This is me and expressing it out, not just me staying at home, because I do have days where I'm at home resting, going to physiotherapy, going to occupational health and all of this stuff to get me back to me working to my baseline. But nobody sees that journey. So this is what I'm trying to document, that this is the process to then get to. So when I do my TED Talk, when it's coming.
It's coming soon.
It's coming. When I do my TED Talk, when I'm being flown over the different countries, they're like, what is Lisa's journey? Oh, you can see that it's documented that when I was on sick leave.
Melanated and Proud first.
Yeah. Melanated and Proud, number one, the best of the best. It's documented that I started and I spoke it into existence. I'm not just somebody that speaks it and don't act on it. No, I would reinvest the small money that I have back into what I'm speaking. So I'm acting. And that's what faith is. And they said in the Bible that if you have your faith as little as a mustard seed, that you can say to the mountain, you be moved, and it will move because you believe it. So this is what I'm doing. It's like I'm working out my faith. So people see me that, Lisa, you're saying that you have pain, you have osteoarthritis and post-traumatic arthritis, but I saw you that you walk here, you went here, you went to Stratford. And I'm like, so because I have it, that doesn't mean I need to live in that definition of I'm in pain, I have a disability. No, I'm going to walk and do things with it so that you can see that it is possible. So I'm not going to be defined by my disabilities and that I have dyslexia, so I can't speak. I have dyspraxia, so you're stuttering, so correct yourself. No, I'm still going to talk. So you can see that it's possible. And you're seeing it visually. So yes, I've been doing it secretly, but now you're seeing it visually so that you become what you can see. So this is what I'm doing. I'm becoming it. Something that I've said it, I've had that dream, but I haven't acted on it. So it doesn't matter that, you have the dream, but what have you done about the dream? What have you acted on it? The sacrifices, nobody hears about walking from one platform to one platform. Nobody talks about when you have a disability. You even have the band, the badge to say, oh, can you offer me a seat? And nobody offers you a seat. Then you're standing up from maybe from one station to maybe like 4 or 5 steps and stuff. Or you fall down. I fell down multiple times. Nobody sees that. But until you talk and express it and say that, yes, I fell down, but I picked myself up and I'm still going ahead. And that's what I did. I will stand up and I will advocate for people that I didn't have that as a child. So then it goes back to when I was in France. I didn't have an advocate. There was no nurse, or there was no brother, there was no family, a dad or a mom to advocate, to say, no, my daughter needs a better plan. I didn't have that. So this is what I'm becoming because I didn't have it when I was a child. You see, that's what I'm trying to do.
Wow. This is not a podcast. This is a sermon. This is a motivation. This is everything.
Hallelujah.
But no, honestly, wow. But hey, you said a lot. You said a lot of things that are. My mind is just stimulated right now. I'm gonna watch this a few times myself.
Oh, but, God bless.
Yeah.
God bless.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I need to come back in this composure. But Yeah. So you spoke about this event that's coming up as well. Any update, and also like what can people do as well to support?
Yes, please. I'm having my first nursing or networking event, mainly focusing on talking about. Basically, it's called Everybody's Work. So it was an initiative that started from America by a group of nurses called Shift Nurses, where they're trying to shift the narrative when it comes to melanated nurses and nurses aiming higher in leadership roles. So when I saw that documentary, I said that I can do that in the UK. We don't have that in London. So I reached out to Ritzy Brixton, the cinema. I said Ritzy Brixton, Ritzy Cinema. And they said that, that we can help you. We can host your networking event on the 17th of May. And what I love about it is that that's the week of International Nurses Week, where all over the world, nurses are going to be campaigning or raising awareness about what we face. So on the 17th of May is where at Ritzy Cinema, we're going to be talking, having a panel discussion. We're going to have more networking. We're also going to watch the documentary that was shown in America talking about ableism, discrimination, disability, neurodiversity, what nurses face getting into higher positions in America. And because it hasn't been done, again, me being the first, I'm creating it here in the UK. I've asked permission from Shift Nurses in America, and they wholeheartedly said that we will support you in your posters and stuff like that. So that's what on my social media page, on YouTube Can Nurse, on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere, I am there.
Wow, she is there.
Yeah, I am there. So just follow on YouTube Can Nurse is where I am going to be showcasing more, like for tickets. It's all free. This one is all free.
It's out already.
The documentary is out.
No, I mean the tickets.
No, the tickets is not out yet. I'm still, I'm still working on it.
I'm here trying to say, send. The link is not even ready.
No, follow.
It'll be ready.
Exactly. It'll be ready by this week. It'll be ready. But just follow UT Can Nurse is where you can get more information on it on Instagram.
When it's out, I'll share it.
Yes, please. I would really appreciate it. So it's just trying to raise awareness about nurses, health professionals with a disability, and melanated, and that we can thrive into leadership roles, because now I'm in discussions of leaders, of like executive directors, and it's like I cannot be the only person of color in this meeting. And that's where people need to shift. When you're the only one in a meeting of higher like directors, and I shouldn't feel comfortable being the only black person. I need to speak out and reach to other people to say, no, join me on this table, because they've given me access, and I'm breaking open the door to bring in more people to join me on that table, so that representation and people can see that disability is not a hindrance. Disability is not an inability. You can still thrive. You can still achieve your dreams. It just means that you need to work a little bit more, but the benefit is much more greater, so continue to live that dream. And on YouTube Can Nurse on the 17th of May is where we're going to be having that more discussion, because it's a first. It's a first, especially in Brixton. I asked them, like, have you had any nursing events in the cinema? It's like, no, this is the first time, and there's 109 seats, and it's all free. It's all free. Just come, network, come. And be inspired, and also aiming it for the students. Students also come.
Do you have to be a nurse to attend?
No, you don't need to be. That's why I told everybody. 109 seats. Locate your seat and sit down.
I may be there if if I can make it.
That would be amazing.
Dates, but that
would be amazing. Even if you could just share it with your friends and family, anyone that's aspiring to be to just dream big, just come and hear.
Wow, like. Small girl from London, and now look. But it's good because, again, you are using your life to create an impact and influence as well. And if you even reflect about even some of the stuff that you've mentioned, of course, more stuff that you've gone through, to now be in a position where you are about to create change. That is so powerful.
Change maker,
innovator, motivator, everything. You are there.
I'm there. I am there.
It's good, honestly. And people, make sure that you support, make sure you share, even if you can't attend, share, because she's about to do some very big things. This is just the start of a new beginning.
Amen.
You're just getting started. You'll be on bigger platforms,
Amen.
bigger occasions,
Amen.
the finances, everything.
Amen. No, I receive it. I receive it.
Everything will be there.
I receive
Double, triple,
Amen.
quadruple.
Amen.
I don't know what's next, but
I receive it.
but
I've
yeah,
received it.
honestly,
Thank you.
yeah, we'll add your socials to the description. Do you have a website as well, or just socials?
Just socials.
No, it's coming
You see,
soon. It's coming soon.
I
It's
love
coming
it.
soon.
You
It's coming
see,
soon.
I already see. I've envisioned it.
And when it comes, rewind to this video and reference it. But yeah, what advice would you say you have for people that are currently secretly suffering?
For me, my statement, my dream, my passion, I always will say is be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see. If you haven't seen it, you become it. If you've had that dream and you're feeling shy about doing it, just start, just message, just start. It's by actions. For me, I always believe that you can do it. It's just that inner voice, that silent voice that is speaking to you to say you can't achieve it. Just drown it out by you speaking it, verbally speaking it out, and just, again, praying. I don't know if you're a Christian, but for me, I'm a Christian. That's what's been my driving force. But just speak it out, write it down, practice your signature. That's what I've been doing, practicing my signature, writing it out. Lisa Daniels, CEO of You Too Can Nurse, director of nursing, of this and that. Write it down. Yes, you might not become, you're not it yet, but you're acting it out. You're seeing it. It's your dream. So become what you want to see. Just live it out. Tell people that, yes, like even now, I've changed my title. I'm not a miss. I'm a baroness now. Levels. I'm a baroness. I'm not a miss. So change the narrative. You become what you want to see. Let people address you by what you want for them to be addressed. You want them to address you by. So if that's lady, I'm a lady, Lady Lisa Daniels. Do that, and the rest is history.
Hey! She is not a miss. She's
I'm not a miss.
baroness.
I'm a baroness.
Hey. Adrian, you're feeling inspired, isn't it? Like your heart is going boom, bitty boom. My heart. Yeah. But yeah, wow. It's true. I don't even need to add anything else to that. You said it perfectly. But yeah, honestly, it's a pleasure having you on.
Thank you
I want
so much.
people to comment. Let her know how you felt, because it's not easy speaking about your difficulties, especially going back in time, having to relive it in your mind.
Yeah.
And also, if you haven't got anything to say, give her words of encouragement at least, because it's a journey. And if you know anyone that she can be in contact with as well, in terms of like other people to speak to or other opportunities that you think align with her vision, then yeah, definitely hit her up, message her in her various platforms. Okay. I'll add your email there if you want to be contacted by email.
Please.
Okay,
yes,
yeah, sure.
Love it. Yes, please.
But yeah, thank you for listening. And if you too have a story that you think you can share that will be encouraging to others, please get in contact with me. Let me know. You can DM me or email me. But above all, comment below, share, and yeah, let your voice be heard as well. Subscribe. How can I forget? Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Like, comment, all of that type of stuff. Don't be a hater, man. We're here to grow together. Okay.